Holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. Amen? He's coming. He's coming. You're in the right place at the right time because He's coming. You say, when is He coming? I don't know. But we're closer today than yesterday.
Amen.
And He's coming. Amen. Go to Joshua chapter 3, reading in verses 1 through 16. We're going to read a pretty extensive passage in the scriptures this morning because this is our anchor text, and I believe the Lord has a very significant timely message. I know it was for me, and I believe it's for you. If it's not, be very courteous to the one it's for. But I believe, amen, God is going to speak to every single person that He drew into this house today. And if you did not understand that, the Lord pulled you in here. He orders your steps. Come on. He's very active in your life. And He has you here for a reason. Reading in Joshua chapter 3, beginning in verse 1, preaching a message entitled, Walk into His Promise. How many want to walk into His promise? Joshua rose early in the morning, and they set out from the Acacia Grove and came to the Jordan. He and all the children of Israel, and they lodged there before they crossed over. So it was after 3 days that the officers went through the camp, and they commanded the people, saying, When you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, and the priests, the Levites, bearing it, then you shall set out from your place and go after it. Yet there shall be a space between you and it, about 2,000 cubits by measure. Don't come near it, that you may know the way by which you must go, for you have not passed this way before. Come on, sometimes we reach a place in life and we haven't gone that way before. We're at the edge of something. We're going to go into a promise, but we have not walked in that avenue before, and that's where the children of Israel are. And Joshua said to them in verse 5, Sanctify yourselves, because tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. And then Joshua spoke to the priests, saying, Take up the ark of the covenant and cross over before the people. So they took up the ark of the covenant, and they went before the people. And the Lord said to Joshua, This day I will begin to exalt you in the sight of all of Israel, that they may know that I was with Moses, so I will be with you. You shall command the priests who bear the ark of the covenant, saying, When you have come to the edge of the water of the Jordan, you shall stand in the Jordan. In other words, don't just go to the edge of the water, but when you come to the edge of the water, step in. So Joshua said to the children of Israel, Come here and hear the words of the Lord your God. And Joshua said, By this you shall know that the living God is among you, and that He will without fail drive out from before you the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Hivites, the Perizzites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, and the Jebusites. You might as well say that God is saying right there, I will without fail drive out the enemy before you. Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth is crossing over before you into the Jordan. Verse 12, Therefore, take for yourselves 12 men from the tribes of Israel, one man from every tribe, and it shall come to pass, as soon as the soles of the feet of the priests who bear the ark of the Lord of all the earth, shall rest in the waters of the Jordan, that the waters of the Jordan shall be cut off. The waters that come down from upstream, and they shall stand as a heap. So it was when the people set out from their camp to cross over the Jordan, with the priests bearing the ark of the covenant before the people. And as those who bore the ark came to the Jordan, and the feet of the priests who bore the ark dipped into the edge of the water, because the Jordan overflows all its banks during the whole time of harvest, that the waters which came down from upstream stood still. In other words, God parted the waters. And there is a Jordan experience spiritually for every single one of us. And it doesn't happen just once in your life. It happens as you come to the edge of something, and what is in front of you looks impossible. What is in front of you is so vast, it looks like it's going to take you under. It looks like, you know what, I did not see that coming, and I don't know how I'm going to get through this issue. There is a Jordan so vast, it seems it cannot be passed. But the thing in front of you, although maybe it stopped your progress, although maybe it's not like you saw it happening, although you used to see a promise and now it's beginning to fade, listen, God says, trust me when you get to something you don't think you can pass, because I am with you.
Yes, amen.
And I am going before you. But you cannot float across the waters on your feelings. Your feelings will get you in trouble. Your feelings will lie to you. They're very real. They're very deep. But it cannot make your decision for you. You cannot go across on secondhand knowledge just because somebody said you could go that way. You know, I was sitting on my porch, and we have a hummingbird feeder right here on the porch, and I was watching it, and it was filled with ants, you know, in the water. It was pretty gross, to be honest. And I thought, how did all those ants get inside that thing that they weren't supposed to be able to get inside of? And there was a little hole that was bigger than it should be, and that's where they were going in. And I watched them, and they would go across the front porch, and they would go all the way up the post, and they would follow one another down the chain, and they would go all the way down to that hole that was larger than it should be, and they would follow one another in, and they would never be able to come back out again, and they would drown. I said, God, why do you have me watching these ants? I really don't like them. And he said, because people better be careful who they follow.
Amen. That's right.
It looks like it's going to be sweet. It looks like sweet water. But it could be a trap.
That's right.
So you cannot go by your feelings. And you cannot go by secondhand knowledge because someone else went that direction. You have to go by the Spirit of the Lord. And at the critical point when you come to those waters, you have to remember that God said to Joshua, as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. And you can say this every morning to yourself. As God was with Moses, and as God was with Joshua, so God is with me.
Amen.
Because that's the truth of it. And when I come to the waters, I have a decision to make. It can go two ways. In other words, I can either break down right there and give up because it looks impossible, or I can break through and trust God and get to the other side. And that's the Jordan experience.